So this pose is, so this, so, don't do that.
Hey guys, Dusty here. Today I'm going to give you 5 yoga poses for runners. So if you're a runner or triathlete like me, chances are you have unbelievably tight hamstrings, hip flexors, and just general tightness in your lower body. So I thought I would share 5 yoga poses that I think can be beneficial to us and really help open up our hamstrings and our hip flexors. So when we do yoga and stretch, we want to go until the point that we feel a stretch, and you don't want to go past that. I know as endurance athletes, we're used to pushing ourselves to the limit, but when we're stretching and doing yoga, you don't want to push to the point of pain. So just keep that in mind when you're doing these poses. And one last thing to mention is that I like holding all of these poses for 10 breaths, 10 deep breaths. So unless I specify otherwise, each of these poses are to be held for 10 breaths. So let's get to it.
All right, so this is Pigeon Pose. It's a great hip opener and glute stretch. So for this pose, you're going to bring your knee up to behind your wrist, as shown. And then your shin of the forward leg is either going to go diagonally, or if you're more flexible, you can put it parallel to the top of your mat, like that. But do whatever's more comfortable. Make sure your hips are squared so you're not sinking down on one side. And if you want more of a stretch, you can drop down onto your forearms. So for the back leg, you want to make sure that you tuck your toes so it keeps a nice neutral position. You don't want to rotate that back leg, which is pretty common. All right, so this next pose is sometimes known as toe torture. So what you're gonna do is just sit back on your toes like that. Now, for some people, this is way too intense of a stretch. So you can either start down with your hands on the ground, and then you can slowly make your way back. So you can lean on a foam roller or bolster, pillow, and then slowly you can sit upright. And this pose is great for stretching the fascia at the bottom of your feet. And a great thing to do when you're done is just to paddle your feet out for a few seconds. All right, so this pose is called extended child's pose. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna sit back on your heels and then open your knees as wide as the mat. And then you're gonna release your upper body down so you can get a nice stretch. So this is a great hip opener. So this pose is called a low lunge. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna start on your knees, and then you're gonna bring one leg forward, rest your foot flat, and making sure your hips are square to the front of the mat, and that front knee does not go over your toes. So if you kind of peek forward, you should be able to see your big toes. So you should feel this stretch in the hip flexor of the leg that's down on the mat, and you may also feel some stretching in your hamstring of the forward leg. So you can just do hands on your hips like this, or if you want a bit more of a stretch, you can raise your arms up to the sky, even do a little back bend.
So last up, we have legs up the wall. I'm sure many of you are familiar with this one. This one is a little different than the ones that I've showed so far, in that you want to hold this one for at least a few minutes, but you can hold it for as long as you like. And this one is particularly good to do after a run, as it helps promote circulation, it helps to drain the legs. And yeah, let me show you how to do it.
All right, so for this pose, you just want to line yourself up with the wall, with your hip touching the wall. And then it's easiest just to kind of flip down onto your back, butt touching the wall, and then just raise your legs up the wall. And and you can have your legs apart, together, whatever's most comfortable for you. And then just lay back and relax.
And those are 5 of my favorite yoga poses. So try them out. You can do them whenever you'd like. I would recommend doing them after a run. And if you wanted something that was a little bit more in depth and more of an actual yoga class, I'll put a link in the description to my favorite YouTube channel when it comes to yoga, and that's Yoga with Adriene. She's my favorite yoga instructor, and she has lots of specific videos that are for runners and hip openers, so it's definitely worth checking out if you have the time for some YouTube yoga classes. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe for more everything running, triathlon, and nutrition related.